Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where today we'll be doing a hard mode run as our favorite character in the game, Azazel. Alright, well, that does make life a little easier. We are very small because we got Eden's Blessing at the start of the or somewhere in the previous run, which gives you a random item at the start of your next run. And in this case, it was a planetarium item that makes you very small. So that is hopefully going to be rather useful. We do still need to do a variety of things as this character. So we will see what we can do. Overall though, this is looking like a run that's more or less going to play itself, as this character by itself is usually just not that difficult. The unfortunate thing is that the item that makes you this small has a couple of niche uses where you can kind of crawl in between rocks from time to time. Like if there's 4 rocks in a formation here, you can like go in between them. But unfortunately, that's not really going to do much of anything this time around because we already have flight, so that's just simply not going to do much of anything, unfortunately. I'm skipping the first item room because I'm tempted to just go to the beast this time around, but we'll see what this run brings in the end. I might use this stars card to actually... I'm just going to put the stars card over here. I'm going to go get that full card back that I picked up here. And then I'm going to teleport out of my curse room with this card to prevent myself from taking this amount of damage. Very good. Was kind of hoping for genuinely any other curse room, but you know what? That's fair enough. Now I'm not sure if my planetarium chance changes when I start off with the planetarium item. I'm not sure how that works exactly, because I know that if you enter a planetarium, then your chance goes back down to 1%. It just stays there, right? But I'm not sure how that works exactly in this instance. I was just gonna check. If I still need to do boss rush, and I accidentally let go of attack and blew myself up. So that was, you could call that avoidable, I'm gonna say. And as I say that, I will simply move on pretending that that didn't happen and that I didn't accidentally let my finger off the trigger there. Oh well, gotta make it a little bit more difficult to make life interesting from time to time. I'm really not quite sure where my secret room is. I know a couple places where it isn't. But for instance, it could technically be over here. We have a lot of bombs to play with. But there's just a lot of places where it simply could not be and or is unlikely to be. I think I'll just simply go and ignore it for now because I'm not sure if I'm going to find it anywhere in here. So let's simply go to the boss room and see what kind of boss we're dealing with here today. It's the Lord of the Flies, the Duke of Flies rather, and it is one of the easier bosses as Azazel, as he more or less dies instantly to the large quantity of damage that this character deals. We did manage to get a soul heart back, so that's good. And let's see if skipping that first item room gives us planetarium chance. It does increase it by 20%, so that is good. That is actually very good. Mostly the small size of me right now is probably going to make things a little more difficult in that it's just going to be a bit trickier to pick things up. This is fine if I take damage, so hopefully that's going to end up working out. This trinket, what exactly does it do? Let's actually check that out real quick. Double item room on the next floor. So I'm not sure if that's 2 item rooms on the next floor or if that's an item room with 2 items in it. Because it might be the latter, and that is obviously not quite as good as the former, but hopefully we can make something work like that. Hopefully we can find a planetarium somewhere in here as well, because that would simplify things a little bit. Hopefully we can get another great item from our planetarium, and this time not one that doesn't do much of anything for us. This character can get red heart containers as well, so it is kind of worth to try and go for that. Bad trip, not great, but ultimately not the end of the world. And we don't have to use 2 of our 10 keys to enter this room right here, which is a 1, which doesn't really do that much for me right now. Arguably, it could make the build a lot worse, but it could also technically probably give me something a little better. I'm just not that interested in it right now. Having said that, why not? What's the worst that could happen? We ended up getting Dark Bum. We're no longer small because we lost our planetarium item, which apparently also gives you some other good stuff I wasn't aware of. I guess I'm just not overly familiar with the item. I only know about the niche effect where you can get between rocks. But truth be told, I got a Dark Bum and I'm not concerned about this build at all anymore because the Dark Bum is just gonna probably end up giving us so much health that I don't really need to worry about anything. And that is lovely. That is very lovely indeed. It's probably worthwhile to try and go for Boss Rush as well. Because I will just be able to full card out of there with the full card that we'll get when we're going for the Beast anyway. And let's go visit our shop as well since we're at 15 coins anyway. There's options, there's more options rather. Not sure if this more or less nullifies my trinket right now and how it exactly works, but either way. Regardless of that, I will simply put this trinket in this boss room right here so I don't need to worry about that anymore. That's a large quantity of batteries. That doesn't really affect me either. And let's go fight Little Horn, our favorite of the bosses. Hopefully he's just going to end up destroying himself, and it does appear that today is yet another one of those days. So that's very good. Let's put that down right there. I will enter my Devil Deal because Devil Deals can be rather good on this character. And that is an example of something that's rather good. Tempted actually by a quarter. I'm actually just going to take both, I think. Not sure if that's the wisest idea, but it's one that's ultimately going to work out. If we're lucky, we can get a Guppy transformation somewhere in this run, and it probably would have been smart to go into Downpour thinking about it, but I'm not too bothered. We got a Curse of the Blind, which I'm not overly happy with, but it is manageable ultimately, and that is really the only thing I care about. Not sure what that enemy did, but it seems he just popped up and then eventually popped back up there and only attacks when he's on screen. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but it seemed to act that way. I don't love my tier 8 currently, but again, it's manageable. I will blow up all these mushrooms because mushrooms can contain good stuff like health up pills. That is going to make this sun card just a little bit better as well. Plus we can more easily pick up Devil Deals. And yeah, Azazel it still is probably one of the best characters in the game for sure. Just having that flight safety is so strong. And also just Brimstone. Brimstone's just still very good. It used to be better, but it's still so strong. It still has so many uses. There is the Bookworm transformation right there, so that's obviously rather good. Book of the Dead, which could be better than Telepathy for Dumb. It's one I never really use, so let's just use it at least once for good measure, because it's a 6 charge item, and it shouldn't be, really. It's not that good, but when you use it, after killing some enemies in the room, I believe it does various things, depending on how many enemies and what kind of enemies or something. Maybe I can get a description of it when I actually just pick up this thing. No, it's still just a question mark. But like this time around, it spawned 2 orbitals around me that will eventually disappear once they take enough damage. But I believe that those orbitals, that's very good. Those orbitals, they can also just spawn regular skeletons that are on your side or something like that. And I'm not exactly sure what other effects that it has, simply because I'm just not that familiar with it, simply because it's just not that good compared to many of the other items in the game. So it's rarely really going to make an appearance in a run of mine, but it's better than nothing, you know. That's really the main thing. Alabaster box, I don't care about that much. Kind of just bought them for fun, but yeah, if there was a large quantity of soul hearts on this floor, I'd consider it. But as it stands, I mean, I do have a decent amount of health actually, so I'm actually a little tempted. Excellent. And also, the fact of the matter is, this isn't really going to do much of anything. It's going to increase my range, which is obviously not bad, and actually, that might be reason enough for me to take it, if I'm honest. The range up is definitely worthwhile to occasionally make some rooms a bit easier, so I think I'll actually just go with it. Having said that, I will of course get some pretty good stuff from that as well. Bomb bag. Probably shouldn't have picked up anything there, thinking about it. because I would have been able to see what it was on the way back, really. So that probably would have been a better choice, but oh well. I think I will just quickly visit my curse room before moving on. It seems like that might as well be done. Unfortunately, just a couple of blue flies, but fair enough. There is still golden chests available in my challenge room as well, but I don't think I'm going to bother with those either. And instead, I will simply just go for my super secret room, which I'm assuming is over here. It's not. In that case, I will not go for my super secret room, and instead simply move on to Pestilence, which is not the scariest boss, especially this form right here, because the spiders that he spawns are more or less going to get destroyed instantly by any of the things around me right now. At least we're going to get an orbital that's going to protect us a little bit. I'm not even really picking up the red hearts either, even though I probably should. Because the red hearts could be rather useful here and there. Simply because I have a decent amount of red heart containers, but simultaneously I'm not really too bothered about it. I should definitely try to blow up a shopkeeper or something on this floor, because I would like to get the devil deal on this floor. But that's really the only thing I have in mind right now. That's so many things. That's so many items from one chest. What the hell? I mean, I'll take it, but it just exploded out of that chest right there. Anyway, at least got the 5% extra devil deal chance there, so that's pretty good. Don't need to worry about that anymore. Uncertain if we're going to find a planetarium on this floor anywhere. 20% chance just isn't that high. And I almost, yeah, I definitely should have skipped the planetarium on the previous floor thinking about it, but that's ultimately fine. That's another red heart container. And since I can't see what my items are, I could have just bombed in there, but fair enough. Conjoined or Spider Baby Bursting Sack. Bursting Sack is pretty damn good, but Lil Brimstone is part of the Conjoined transformation. And getting Conjoined on this character is ridiculous, so would like to have that. There is the Forsaken, which is one of those bosses that does have a tendency to die rather quickly to Azazel as well. Really, anything that's somewhat weak to bombs is probably weak against Azazel as well. And we didn't get a devil deal, which is fair enough, I guess, but it's still a little annoying. At least that more or less guarantees we're going to get a devil deal on the next floor, so that's at least something. And we got an Ace of Clubs, which I will use in probably the next room, because it's a long one, and hopefully there's just a bunch of enemies in there. Not that many, but ultimately enough to use it in, I'd say. So I can live with that. Not sure if there's a tinted rock here. It's a little bit hard to tell in rooms like this, but I'm definitely not going to waste any time trying to find out, because it's ultimately not really worthwhile for me, I'd say. I'd like to visit my shop at least. If I didn't pick up that Eternal Heart, I'd definitely go visit that Heart Beggar as well, but unfortunately did pick up that Eternal Heart in the end, so fair enough. There's another I'm Drowsy pill, which could be good for the beast fight. Genuinely not sure how good I'm Drowsy would be for the beast, but simultaneously, I'm not going to bother with it too much. I wouldn't mind finding a red chest either that sends me to the devil deal. That would be ideal. There is still a curse room to check out after all, and I can use this stars card to get out of the curse room afterwards without taking any damage, so that's pretty good as well. And hopefully this shop will have something good for us also. Let's see here. It is a red card, 2 of diamonds. Might as well use that. Ultimately might as well buy BOGO bombs, but I think I might actually just put a couple coins in here and just leave it at that. Maybe there's going to be something good in our shop on the Depths 1 instead. And that's really the only thing that I feel like is worthwhile. Like BOGO bombs is technically not terrible, but it's definitely one of the weaker shop items for sure. Ultimately not something that I'm that interested in. I should be using the Book of Telepathy a little bit more, simply because it will give me that range up, and especially in big rooms like that, it would just insta-charge anyway, so there's really no reason not to. But it's not exactly in my system to use items like that, so need to get used to that, I suppose. Let's not pick up the I'm Drowsy pill, but instead just go in here. There's a soul heart and another soul heart, so large quantities of health available, and I will just quickly go back to that sun card to have that available. That is a hermit. Could just take the hermit card, I guess, because it's not too terrible by any means, but I don't mind having the sun card available while we're traversing back up again. I'm assuming we're gonna have some red hearts available Depending, of course, what's in the devil deal. We have a 36% planetarium chance right now because the magic 8 ball ended up giving us a little bit more planetarium chance as well. So that can end up being good, but I am, given how my devil deals have been panning out during this run, I'm not going to make any assumptions about what we're going to get this time around. I can pretty safely go into that curse room. I will take the damage, but I'm almost at full health at this point, so it doesn't matter too much. And depending on if I do this right, I might be able to, yeah, just effectively get out unscathed because that item ends up healing you if you... Well, the moment you're done with your pickup animation, and if you happen to be out of the room at that time, then you have already taken the damage from the door, and therefore it's really only a positive. So, all in all, things are looking pretty great. We already have a trinket waiting for us in basement 2, so we can pretty much just have the sun card with us until a while later. If I can get actually like the item that lets me carry multiple tarot cards, that would actually be really nice. Because that way I'd at least be able to carry both the sun and the cracked key, I think. This... Not really sure how it works with this character, actually, but I think Capricorn is definitely going to be better regardless. And I did see a video the other day where it was technically possible that in a room like that with 2 items, you can, with very specific bomb placement, you can pick up both items, but it's very difficult. Alternatively, there could also just be a cracked key in the shop. Might as well buy it and just use it somewhere, I suppose. There was a way that you could somewhat tell where the Super Omega secret room was. And it was something along the lines of only one room could touch it diagonally or something like that. Which does reduce the amount of places where it could possibly be. But I will say, I don't fully understand it. So I'm not 100% sure where exactly, because I feel like there'd be a lot of places right now where it could be simply because there's just a lot of dead ends on this floor. So it seems fairly unlikely that it's going to be found. But since we have a chance anyway, I figured I might as well give it a shot, I suppose. But I'll probably just end up using it here. That's not really worthwhile. So... I'm gonna... I don't know. Just do it here, I guess. Yeah, I don't fully understand how that works exactly. I do need to actually properly read up on that and get a better understanding of how that works exactly. Because I think if you're able to find that room a little bit more guaranteed, it definitely seems worthwhile because you can get some decent items in those rooms for sure. Anyway, we haven't seen Greed yet. Which makes me think it's not really worthwhile to go back for that sun card because we're probably going to get Greed in the shop of the next floor. So I'm just actually going to leave that sun card over there for now. And going with the assumption that I'm simply not going to get the good stuff, really, is more or less the summary of that story. There's another red heart right there, which is not terrible. Definitely makes the sun card a lot more viable, but yeah, fair enough. Pound of Flesh makes all devil deals cost money instead, which is kind of good. You also need to spend hearts on shop items, which is less good. But I don't think I'm going to bother. I think I'll just move on. With this amount of red hearts, it almost certainly would have been a good idea to just carry the sun card along just in case I managed to find that thing to carry multiple things, but yeah, fair enough. I'm sure we'll manage somehow. I'm not sure if I should stick with the rainbow worm either, but it does have fun effects, and I do like fun. And that is an important part of whether or not I should take an item with me, ultimately. I actually remember to use my thing, so that's good. I think occasionally it might also cause a little bit of homing once my tears go a little weird, so hopefully that's actually true. And if anything, it gives me a range up, so ultimately I'd say that's probably worthwhile. There's a Perthrow room, which we can use to reroll items on pedestals, and also in shops, so that can be good. Birthright. Ooh, that's fun actually with this character. That's actually a lot of fun with this character. And 9 volt, which means I have to use this book every room because I might as well. But yeah, this is gonna make my shot really big. It doesn't immediately deal more damage, but it is really, really large. So, all in all, I'm having a good time with it. I'm a little curious if using the Book of Telepathy a second time is going to give me even more range, but I have to assume the answer to that is probably no. I also have to find that Fool card before moving on, because otherwise I'm going to be very disappointed in myself. Obviously, I could still do a run to the chest, because that's still the thing that I have to do. But I did kind of go into this run thinking I should unlock the Tainted Azazel character, because it is not that interesting of a character, I suppose, in terms of the other Tainted characters, but it is still a good character for sure. God, Birthright is ridiculous. If you get like double Brimstone with this as well, it's just room clearing Brimstone pretty much. It's very funny, but also fairly unlikely to get, I suppose. There we go. Again, if I could carry 2 cards, I'd probably go for Perthrow and a Fool card, simply because it would make life a little bit easier in the boss rush room as well. I will actually just skip that. For now, I'll just get it on the way back, because then it's not going to be bad. Or rather, I will be able to tell what the items are. There's a couple of item rooms I actually have to check out on the way back, I feel like, but hopefully I remember. And hopefully I can find that skull with the thing on it, because it is starting to get a little late in the run. I also like how it looks when it starts to rotate the tier around like it occasionally does. It does look really cool. I can pair throw a variety of things here, but not really sure what the best idea here is. There is another pill here. Paralysis, always fun. Yeah, Yara's obviously very good as well. I could take Perthrow with me to the next floor at least, so it's good to remember that that's there. I don't think I really have anything to reroll right now, because I don't know what my items are. Unless I manage to win like Scatole from the shell game, I guess I could technically try and go for that, but I don't think it's really worth my time. It's a bit unfortunate as well, because it means that I won't be able to tell what's in my Devil Deal. I won't be able to tell what's in my Boss Rush either, which makes me a lot less likely to actually pick anything up there. But it's fine. Let's just remember to use that as well. And yeah, damage is not amazing or anything, but we do have a very large beam. And it does look fun. And isn't that the main important thing? And the damage is alright, actually, from time to time. Doesn't really matter which one of these we take. And I could just risk it, just for fun. Spider Bite, that's actually not too terrible, so I'm okay with that. It also makes our Brimstone a different color, so that's fun. Yara, I don't think does anything for me unless my super secret room ends up having Soul Hearts or something like that. And truth be told, I don't really feel like looking for it. So instead, I think I'm just gonna go this way and move on. Onwards to the beast. Hopefully we can use our Perthrow somewhere over here. At least a nice thing about the cracked key being in the basement means that we can use it a couple times on the way back as well. Like I could technically use it in that item room that has 2 items in it. And that's obviously rather good. There is a planetarium here finally, so that ended up working out. Neptune, not really sure how that works with this character actually. The answer is it doesn't. Yeah, fair enough. That's unfortunate, but ultimately nothing we can really help, I guess, so fair enough. I don't even know how I would imagine that would work anyway, but yeah, fair enough. That's another part of the conjoined transformation, and that's cards. I could actually just blow this up for 5 coins, and I will take this. And if that's the 2 diamonds, that would be lovely. Joker card, that's obviously not bad, because we're not going to get a Devil Deal on this floor. So I might as well check it out. Lusty Blood. That's very tempting, that is. If I can get some more health somewhere along the line. Also, this is the conjoined transformation, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I should just get everything here. Because I can just buy this then. And that's conjoined. Which is an experience for sure. So, yeah, I can't really say no to that one, unfortunately. I'll take that for sure. I need to get a few more coins to be able to buy that soul heart, or I can just get health up pills, I guess, but likely. Oh, that's so over the top. I love it. Absolutely love that so much. Another eternal heart, so we can turn that into another red heart container as well. Overall looking pretty good. It's likely that I can just sleep in the bed to heal my red hearts as well on the in the home front, so that's also quite good. Luck down, that's a bit unfortunate, but nothing I'm gonna lose any sleep over. There's a soul heart over there. But yeah, this is clearing rooms pretty good. This is getting us to the end with relative ease. God, when the rainbow worm also activate, it is a trip for sure, but I love it. I'm drowsy again. I should remember to take the Perthrow rune with me to, well, I probably should have Perthrow with me before I enter that curse room at least, in case there is something good in there. God, slow down that is being caused by these tears as well is just the best. I should probably take one of those red hearts. I don't know if that's correct. I did just say that I can probably not require it if I sleep in the bed with my red heart situation, so yeah, I probably don't need to worry about it. It's so strong, I love it. Oh, used it by accident, but that probably doesn't matter too much. Ragman is not that big of a deal at this stage. Two of spades, sure, 99 keys, might as well, I suppose. Temperance machine, might as well blow up these flames. And what's in here? Dunce cap, which I'm not really sure what that would do. But I'm tempted. I'll just leave that there for now. I will just go back to that item room on the way back once I see what that is. But I'm not sure if Dunce cap would do anything. I'm not sure. I think it's a stat up effectively, right? So it might be worthwhile. It just very much depends on what's in the other item room for sure. Either way, let's just use this lover's card because it seems like a waste to just pick it up and then leave it there. Also, the beggar can have one heart as well. And I should now definitely buy the thing. There we go. Should definitely buy the soul heart in my shop. And perhaps something good from here as well. Or possibly just a bunch of garbage, but fair enough. I can use the sun card actually to figure out where my secret room is, so that's not too bad. And if we come across any golden chests, we should just open those with the many keys that are currently in my possession as well. Let's just blow these up as well for good measure. Got one more soul heart out of that. So yeah, if I buy one more soul heart, we'll be at full health in a second. So that is obviously rather good. Alright, well, I think that more or less does it for this floor. I already found my super secret room, so let's just get the dad's note. I like the little ghost that's currently following me around, but it's probably going to change. Yeah, that's full health right there, and the baby did indeed change to something with a surprisingly high shot speed. There is a mod that removes the dialogue here, and I'm thinking about installing it, because we've heard it enough now, I feel, but I don't know yet. Infestation is not bad, but I'm curious what this does, or if it even does anything, because I feel like it probably doesn't. I'm just gonna try it. Alright, well, I don't shoot forward anymore, so it technically did do something. But the fact of the matter is that my tears are so wide that I don't think it's really gonna have an effect. I need to stop accidentally using telepathy before I actually enter a room, though. That's a weird, bad habit that I'm currently experiencing. Nah, I kind of like the way my tears are right now. I kind of need them to be ridiculous. Otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna win. I simply don't think I'm gonna win. I don't remember how many item rooms I have missed, but it's a couple of them for sure. So let's just check this one out first. It is flush and milk. Milk is not bad by any means. And I will probably take damage during the beast fight or the dogma fight anyway, so I might actually go for that. Let's just use this here for fun. Let's see if we can get a fun room out of it. Not especially so, I suppose. A couple of pins as well, but manageable. But I feel like my conjoined and my regular tiers are just both shooting right now, and I'm not sure if that's effectively double damage or not, but it seems to be pretty damn good. Especially with the long range as well. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. I do take full hearts of damage right now, so I do need to be a little careful here. Hanged man, that's effectively nothing. Yeah, let's just move on for now.
He's self-destructive and disturbed, just like his father. Look at who he has to look up to.
Good room. And then you have flight. Our baby is creating something or another. I think it might be anti-gravity tiers with just a variety of effects as well. It's pretty good seemingly. So it could be interesting. Emperor and Moon. That doesn't really do much for me either way. I will just quickly check if I've actually checked out my item room on this floor because I'm not 100% sure. Plus I'm getting some hearts every time as well, so that's not too bad either. There we go. Yeah, if we can just get a bunch of rooms like this, that's not too bad. Also, the multi-dimensional baby with these tiers is pretty good. There's another health up. And I will take all of those because any health I can get right now is pretty much just good, really. Caves 2. Where was that other item room? Genuinely don't remember. That's pretty good. Oh, cool. HP up, luck, or HP down, luck up, I think it was, which is fair. Not the end of the world, but not exactly what I'm looking for, I suppose. There you go. Also, it is worth mentioning once again that if I reach the beast fight with everything, if I reach the beast fight with 9 lives, then I will just resurrect inside that room every single time I die. So, with that in mind, I'm also not too worried. Boop. God, look at that though. Even those big flies are getting destroyed pretty much instantly. So that's pretty good. It's pretty great. Birthright is such an interesting character when it does something. Or it's an interesting item, rather. Because there's also so many characters where it's just like unimplemented, and it's like, well, unfortunate, but also somewhat understandable because it is 34 items you're effectively implementing at that point, all tailored to each character as well, and I can understand how that would possibly take a while to fully get fleshed out. But I would love to see it for sure. There's basement 2, so much for birth throw, unfortunately, unless we're finding an item here. Which I'm gonna say is fairly unlikely, but not impossible. If we find a golden chest or something, we can still get an item or something like that. Oh, God, did not notice that. Use that. Ah, oh, jeez. Okay. I need to have less explosive enemies in the room, please. That would just be ideal. Yeah, and no item in there, so probably not going to get use out of birth throw there, but that's fine. We got pretty good items ultimately, so I'm not too bothered about it either. 3 more bombs, definitely need those. We were running low, so you understand how I was worried a bit. Need to stop assuming that enemies are already dead once I touch them though, because that is causing problems. There we are. You get that. Give me 1 more black heart. Very good. Unsure if there is anything good in here. I will just take that before I destroy all these proops though, because that could end up being pretty vital. Looks like it's mostly just money, but that's ultimately fine as well. There is a lot of rooms to pick from. I'm gonna go with this one, and I picked correctly. Very good. Another pill, bad trip, not bad, but ultimately not something I can take with me, unfortunately. Would have been good if I could take that with the amount of red hearts that I have, because it would be 4 more hits effectively if I used it when I was at 1 heart. But fair enough. I'd rather have the cracked key and unlock a character than not to have that, I suppose. Yeah. God, that looks so cool. And yeah, there's definitely some times when there's a bit of a homing effect going on, but I'm not sure when exactly. Oh well, whatever works. Whoops, accidentally stood there. But got a bunch of health back, might as well duplicate my money, why not? this is not bad. I could have picked up either of these, really. But I think I'd rather have this speed up and the shot speed up. Not sure if shot speed up is going to affect me too much. But it, well, so far, I'm not sure if it was a range up, because shot speed up usually is, but it's always a little hard to tell on this character. I'm just not going to do this room. There's no real reason to. There's just nothing there. I could just spend some money here to actually get back to full health as well. Especially when I get 1 soul heart every time I use it. I should not have said that. It listened and now it stopped. But I had a good run on that, I'd say. Also, I used my Book of Telepathy again in that previous room before leaving, and that was my own fault, I guess. That's good enough. I'll miss 1 heart, I suppose. I can live with that. I should have done 1 more room so I could activate my Book of Telepathy, though. That was a little bit of an oversight, but I'll have it during the beast fight at least. That is nothing. That's some bombs, which is fine. And let us unlock yet another tainted character, Tainted Azazel, who is not bad at all, but does sneeze on occasion. Bad trip? Well then, alright, I'll take that. Because once again, if I somehow get to 1 red heart, it is just going to heal me back to full red hearts instead. So obviously, that's rather good. Now this is probably the battle where I would most like to have the Book of Telepathy active, and simultaneously, it's good during the beast as well, but it's just also rather good here. Definitely nothing to scoff at, for sure. If you just keep doing that, that's entirely fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, this is less okay. Still not, like, terrible or anything, but just less okay, ultimately. Yeah, there you go. Because now I can just keep attacking. And that's much better. This phase could be a little awkward, for sure, as this character, because my range. But I did slow him down a bit there. And little Brimstone might actually do some damage here at least. But during this, I'm pretty much going to be useless, unfortunately. But that's also, I guess, mostly due to how I do this phase and try to do it as safely as possible without taking any real damage. Rather than just actively trying to go for it as much as I can. Because it seems like a bad idea. Yeah, we are getting some decent hits in for sure. And given the amount of damage I've taken so far, I'm not overly concerned. If I can do no damage dogma, then I'm okay with that any day of the week for sure. There you go, look at that. And Lusty Blood giving us a little bit more damage as well. That's obviously rather nice. Which is going to give us a little bit more damage during the beast fight as well, I do believe. So, all in all, pretty damn good. Alright, so hopefully we can get some good homing effects here. We do have a little bit of range up. Got a little bit too close to him there, unfortunately. But this is going to be a little awkward to do as well, but not ultimately impossible. But I don't love this phase. That gave us a little bit of a tier 8 up as well, now that the milk is gone. But that went really quick, actually. Yeah, this is going to be an awkward one. But not too impossible, fortunately, because of those diagonal shots as well, partially. And I think the Buddy in a Box actually ended up helping out a bit there. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a mess, but we will get to pretty much max damage thanks to Lusty Blood, which is obviously rather nice. But a little fiddly, especially with the poison gas, but that fortunately just barely went away in time. The beast fight itself is also going to be a little bit troublesome, simply due to the fact that I just don't have range. I need to get pretty close, and if I get too close, I'm going to get sucked up by the attack where she just sucks air in the entire time, so I need to be a bit wary of that. This would have been a good place to unlock the Baby Bender as well with the Book of Telepathy right here, because I think it definitely would have unlocked by now. But, you know, you already have it. It's fine, I guess. There we go. On to the second. Yeah, damage is definitely good enough because these phases are over before you know it. That's definitely good. Definitely did that wrong, but it ended up working out. Yeah, fair enough. Took one hit there that I didn't need to take, but ultimately, good enough. And I will use my Book of Telepathy every single time, just in case it gives me more range. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Also, the Black Hearts, I think, are technically damaging the beast at the same time as well, so I'm not too bothered by losing them during this phase either. So, entirely fine. It would be nice to not take damage in the terms of the let's try and stay alive during this fight part of the fight, I guess, but not too bothered about the damage we would potentially be missing out on. But so far things are going okay. We only have the boss remaining, the beast right here, which might be a little bit tricky to hit with the character that we are, but definitely not impossible. I guess you could argue that being able to shoot forward would be kind of good, but, you know, do I really need to? I'm not really sure why I'm charging up Little Brim either, but it is a little bit of extra damage, which could be ended up being worthwhile. And I should blow these up for sure. But like this phase in particular, it can be a little fiddly. Plus the fires are, the hole inside the fires is just a little bit too small to like reliably go through. So I don't love that either. But this part, I can at least just sort of sit here and attack with every bit of brimstone in the world, which is not too bad. We are getting to the point where I have to use that bad trip pill. If I get to 1 health, you'll see it change to full health instead, so you'll know when it's time to use it. I kind of do want to show that off, so I might just take some damage on purpose here, because at this point it doesn't really matter too much. But as you can see, it's now full health, and when I use it, there we go. Back to full red hearts. And we have some time to stay alive. And I could technically also show off just how you come back in this fight when you die with the 9 lives as well, but nah, I was a little bit too late. Just take my word for it. Little Abaddon has been unlocked, which is fine, I guess. We have unlocked yet another tainted character, which is, of course, Tainted Azazel. All in all, that's what you get sometimes when you pick random. You get the best character in the game from time to time, and I can appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Next time we play, I'll play a different run as a different character probably. And I hope to see y'all there. Bye bye.